Olympics week
Yes, it is.
here on What the Podcast. I'm Ryan,
I'm John.
and together we're representing
Ryan and John.
and representing the couch, Kara Tafoya, and representing the other side of the couch, Annie the Scovement. And coming at you from the floor, what is this? Arthur Albright!
You can't see it, but he's here.
He's here.
Artie, come here.
The music
Artie,
change
hey, Artie,
was
how about you represent?
incredible.
Wasn't that
Represent the
great?
couch. Represent the couch.
I don't know if you do that. That was changing. That was so
pretty
perfect.
classic.
Oh, awesome.
You know who wrote that Olympics theme? John Williams.
I was gonna guess another John, but
John
Albright.
Krasinski?
Oh,
no,
Okay.
John Hancock.
I'm not gonna say it. No.
Go ahead, say it.
Legend.
No, I don't actually. You know, I didn't. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say John Legend probably.
Dude.
Yeah,
The
sorry.
Olympics theme song?
I know it's
It
it's,
doesn't-
it's
you
old.
know what?
It's old. I
It's
know.
old. It's
I know
pretty
it's
old. But that's okay.
The Olympics have been
it's
in
Olympics
full
week.
swing. I know. You know what? I've seen the most Olympics on my TikTok.
Really?
Well, not my TikTok, my Instagram reels, because I don't
Because
have TikTok.
everything live starts at 4 a.m.
it kind of
our
does.
time.
It's pretty late in the evening. But they
Yeah, I don't
replay
know.
stuff. It's like primetime Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all of them are like little influencers now.
Yeah.
I keep on
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
I keep seeing Team Australia complaining about the beds.
Oh, it's the cardboard bed, so they don't sleep together.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I don't know if
That's
that's
why.
true, but
No,
they
that's-
are technically, or
That's
not
why
technically.
they do it.
Allegedly, they call them anti-sex beds because you get over to that Olympic village, and they do be banging over there.
And what's,
I mean,
what's the
you're in
problem
a
with that?
whole.
Apparently, this weekend they gave out 400,000 condoms.
That was the thing I always heard is that the Olympic Village is basically a sex fest.
Yeah.
And that they give out Olympic condoms for
Yeah.
for Olympic sex.
Yeah.
Imagine 2 Olympians.
I mean,
They're probably getting
two,
wild.
two humans in peak physical condition, high off adrenaline,
Yeah, I
just
don't know,
won the
I don't know
gold.
why they would be so upset about that.
If anything, they're breeding the next Olympians.
Well, they need to also
my
like.
God.
Isn't there a case that like they're probably, tense in the sense that like they're getting ready to go into Olympic Games? Like, don't
No,
shouldn't
it's
they,
probably
don't they
the
deserve a
coaches. The
relaxation?
coaches don't want them focusing on.
They don't want them to
anything
lose
else.
their edge, which is
Really?
horny.
Come on.
Their
or
edge is
they
horny.
don't want them getting hurt. Try
Oh.
something crazy in
That
bed. The
actually
cardboard
makes
bed
sense.
gives
That actually
out.
makes sense.
You
Then
twist
they
your
get
ankle
hurt.
right before the hurdles.
Yeah.
You have a new hurdle to
There's already
face.
a couple-
Pregnancy.
There's already a couple gold medals for the U.S., right?
Yeah.
And-
Where we
doing
at?
that.
Where we at in the standing? America.
We're still the highest medal count.
We
Okay,
did
I was
beat
gonna say.
543 athletes this year.
I know.
Whoa.
A couple
I'm
countries
going to
sent
look up our
3.
standings currently.
Gold medals so far.
I mean, like, how special would that be if you were the one of the 3 that your country sent?
3 gold medals so far.
We've got 20 total. France has 14 total, 4 gold, 7 silver. It has a full breakdown.
Oh, wait.
We have the most
This
medals, but we have more bronze.
Yeah.
Medal count 2024
What the
Olympics.
hell, America? Get it together. Bronze. Bring
They've
it
only
home.
done
Is
the
that better? We're getting
swimming.
more bronze, but like we have more medals, but fewer wins, like golds and silver.
That's
No.
Yes,
interesting.
you still. It's still the most medals.
I
Gold or nothing.
Yeah, give us gold.
Silver's the
We want
first
gold.
loser.
Here
So
we go. Here we go.
bronze
place
is
loser.
the second
Second
loser.
loser.
Second
Yeah.
place loser, you're done. You're cooked.
Disgusting.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
My gosh.
I was looking at how much they make, how much each country, like the athlete makes for getting a certain medal type.
Give it to me.
Do they make
The
money?
U.S. for getting a gold medal. Mind you train 4 years to become the best.
Sure.
In this category, and,
Can we
and
guess?
you win gold. Yeah, go ahead.
$400.
No, it's higher than that, obviously, but it's not
400?
That's what I'm saying. They're like, it's really for glory.
What are we talking, like 10 G's? Like something low like
No.
that?
No, you get just guess. I'll
Okay.
tell you.
$1,000
I'm going to say all in on you get $100,000 for a gold medal.
Kara.
No. I'm gonna say 25 grand.
I say $1,000.
Just like a one, like Michael Phelps wins the gold, he gets 50 grand.
He gets $37,000 and something on
Based on what? From the U.S.
from the U.S. The U.S. pays them that for getting a gold medal. You know, like
Huh.
in other
I have
countries,
some-
it's like There, it was so funny because other countries were more and some were less, and there was some countries where you just didn't get anything, and then there was like I think
China.
it was like Scandinavia or something, some obscure country was like you get a 3-bedroom house. I was like, what?
They're like,
3-bedroom
we give you a
house.
plot of land and 10 cows.
That's worth more than $35,000.
That is so
well, you have to
awesome.
live out in, ancient
I want to know.
Scandinavia.
I want to know where these houses are. Like, is it all? Is
That's
it like
what I
an
mean.
old
One
Olympic village?
No.
It's a new Olympic village.
Oh, it's the Victor's Village.
It's the
That's
Victor's
of course. You
Village.
get a house, of course.
Could you imagine being like, yes, I just scored a little house.
They're like, we're gonna sell it probably because nobody lives out in the the sticks of Norway or
except
whatever.
for the Olympic gold medalists.
Scandinavia. Yeah, well,
Maybe
that's
it's
true.
like a badge of honor.
the
out
sex
there.
village. I mean,
They're
maybe
like, I
it
want to live in the
continues on.
village, and so I have to go get a gold medal, and then they'll give me a house up there.
Allegedly, I don't know if this is true, but somebody that we know like was on an Olympic team, didn't
Oh.
actually compete, but was like a manager or something. And they had a bunch of silver medals, and they said actually, technically, the silver medals, just the medal is worth more because it's pure silver as
Yeah.
opposed to the gold medals are like a gold alloy.
It's the silver medal is pure silver. The gold medal is the silver medal dipped in
Yeah.
gold.
Oh.
They said like if you melt down I just watched a video about that. This is
Really?
crazy. It was like if you melt down the gold, it's only worth like
It's like jewelry.
it's only worth like
plated.
$1,000.
Yeah, I
or
think it's something that like, the second place people just tell themselves like this is actually worth more.
it's worth more.
Yeah.
because I'm the first loser.
Oh, not the first loser.
I
loser.
truly, in my childhood delusion, thought I was going to be an Olympian.
Okay,
I did. I fully was.
What
I,
what thing? What was your thing?
well, my thing in reality, I was like, I'm going to be an Olympic volleyball player. But then after you watch it, you're like, I could really do a lot of this stuff, except for running. Running was really the only one
That's
that I
my
was
favorite.
going
You
to
still
That's my
feel that?
favorite memes is that when people are like, a lot of them are being like, they show like an Olympic
Yes.
person messing up, and then they're like on their couch, like, oh, it sucks. I could have done that. I'm like, that is so true. That is literally everyone right now being like,
Yeah.
oh,
put me in there,
shoot.
coach.
He really biffed that one. Oh, I
Yeah.
could have done it.
Sunday night, Simone Biles got back on the. She did
I
her
know
whole
after
routine.
she walked
the
out
floor.
last year.
Yeah,
Or last
yeah.
Olympics.
Emotional.
But there was a video that was like, give me 5 shots of tequila and like some French fries, and I could do this. And it was her like absolutely like destroying. Like she was amazing.
What's crazy is I saw a video from like the 1980s Olympics for like men's gymnastics versus like now.
Good or bad?
And it was just like the bar was so much lower. They're like, oh,
Really?
he jumped over it. That's awesome. And now it's like they're doing 5 flips in the air.
Oh,
And
which
then
is
they're like,
crazy because it's a couple of tricks are opposite for women's.
yeah.
How's
There
that?
are some things that they've had to ban from the Olympics because it was so
No
dangerous.
twisty Cheetos or something.
No, there's like a specific bar, like double bar trick that women used to do, and it fully was like that. Nope, that is way too like. There's one that you can fall and like crack your head
Was it-
open.
was it a
type of
Twisty
thing.
Cheeto?
No, it wasn't a twisted Cheeto.
It was a spicy Cheez-It.
I'm getting mixed reports on
Spicy
how many
Cheeto.
medals we have, but I think they just need to update them.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
we
yeah,
just have
because
a
it's
lot.
happening
Do you
right
think
now.
the U.S. Does like in the last 10 years has been like sweeping and taking a lot? Or?
I think we've had
Last 10
propaganda that
Olympics,
says
I should
that.
say.
No,
I-
I think we definitely have because we send the most people, so of course we're gonna get. most
Yeah,
medals.
that's kind of like it's kind of
Okay.
like stacking the deck.
For one, we have Michael Phelps, who's the most decorated Olympian of all time, by far. By the way, Michael
By
Phelps,
10.
28 medals. He's got like 24 gold and like 4 silver or something like that.
Yeah.
I think the next one up was like 15 medals.
It's 10. It's 10.
Yeah.
And I
Math
think
on
that
his
guy was
goal,
also an American, was he
37,000
not?
Times how many?
I'm not
Was
sure.
it, I think he was a Jewish American. I think I saw a whole thing about.
I thought you were American.
I might be. My
No,
Olympics
it's
has
a.
been,
I
like,
think the
bumping
second one is
out.
a girl.
He has
Actually.
23 gold
Right below
medals.
him.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Pump it up because I have been
What was her
watching
name?
a lot
Like
of Olympic
Yasandra
facts.
or like
I'm gonna check it
Yasidra?
out. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
So just for a second while he's looking that up, so Michael Phelps has 23 gold medals,
Mm-hmm.
and if you apply that 37,000, now it probably has changed over the years. He
Inflation.
has made.
Yeah.
If we just go with
From
37,000,
his brand deals and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
outside. I mean, I'm talking about just the money
you're
that the
saying
government's
just
paying.
just the medals.
It's $851,000 he's made.
You know
over
what's
the course of his
crazy?
Olympic
That
career.
probably does
Chump
not.
change.
Probably doesn't cover.
Yeah, that dude's a multimillionaire.
I'm saying his brand deals are bigger, but I'm just saying
Yes,
that's
huge.
crazy that he got that much from like a government stipend. I mean, that's a lot of medals
but
too.
what's crazy is
I
$37,000.
mean, spread out between how many years?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
only every 4 years,
You know?
I guess. Go ahead. Yeah, you go.
$27,000. You're probably spending easy $10K a year on training.
More than that.
On
More
like
than that.
on yeah, like getting 2 different competitions.
No, but don't you think like when
Go-
you're on
like,
the Olympic team pays for a lot of your
No.
Oh,
stuff?
yes.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, when you're trained, like I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, not to
2000,
keep going back to the Hunger Games, but it is very Hunger Games. Like
Oh,
they
it is
get
Hunger
like
Games.
what do you call it? People that give you money. They
Sponsors.
get sponsors, and they get a little screen time where people send them a little thing on a parachute, a little package.
That's crazy.
They don't do that.
keep it up, buddy.
Yeah.
So he's been in
You're doing great.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Now-
5 Olympic Games. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, then he like retired and came out of retirement because he was like just kind of want to be an asshole or something like that.
Yeah. Do you guys track that whole thing that he was? I think we may have talked about it.
What?
But
When he raced the shark.
the Australian that was like, oh my God, there was this Australian girl that she was also like very decorated Olympian, and this was her last year to
She's like,
compete.
I want to race Michael.
They're interviewing her, and she's like, they're like, oh yeah, tell us about your wins, and she's like, every time I'm so glad that we don't have to hear the U.S. national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. She's like, it's so annoying,
wow.
and every time it's just ringing in your ear, and you're like, please stop. And they all chant USA, USA, and they ring a cowbell, and she's like, and she's Australian. She's like, it's so annoying,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah, her whole thing was like,
Get
I'm
over
like,
it.
America sucks. So I'm glad when any other country but America wins.
Yeah.
And they show Michael Phelps, and he was like, that would have just made me win more.
It was,
Yeah,
dude. We'll show you the
awesome.
video. He gets fired up, like he was
Awesome.
about
Well,
ready
Because she
to
names
go
him
out of
and pulls him
retirement.
under, and
And he's
bad.
like, huh, okay.
He's like, I'm coming out
I
of
didn't retire.
retirement.
He's like, I'm not done.
He's like, see, I never saw this video. I thought, you're
that
showing me this
literally
for the
was
first
the
time.
craziest commercial during the
Yeah.
Olympics.
He
was
goes,
him watching
he goes,
a video.
if I would have seen that when I was competing, I would have watched it every night. He's like, I would have
Wow.
watched that girl say that every night.
See, that's just shows how different he is.
He's
from the
like,
rest of us.
he's like, I would have just let that fuel my fire, and I'd prove them wrong. Like he was so, it was so good. It fires me up.
awesome.
The best cherry on top of that Sunday is that girl didn't qualify this year.
Yes.
And it was her
Tell
last
'em.
like eligible year to qualify, and she's like, I'm so sorry, I couldn't do it.
What's that
Australian.
mean? Last eligible year? Like, is there an age cap in Australia or what?
No,
it's
it
just-
was. She was like, this is. I don't know if it was an age gap.
It's not.
age
There's
cap,
no
but-
eligibility. You can be as old
But
as you
she
want in the
said
Olympics.
she was like, this is my last
It's,
year. I
she's-
don't know what that means.
She's probably like
She's like, I'm gonna
25,
retire.
30.
Yeah.
That's such a crazy thing to say. I mean, I guess, do you think a lot of the other countries hate the U.S. when it comes to the Olympics?
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
But
I think
why? Why are we any different?
Because we're the best goddamn country in the entire world.
Amen.
USA, USA,
Also, like, look at our little blazers we had. They're jealous.
I mean, they're jealous
We
of the
do
Blazers.
had. I like the Blazers. I know you said you don't. like
I I thought our outfits were ugly, but I think
Really?
all the outfits were ugly. Like every single year, they make a whole deal of like, so and so is representing America by designing the
Yeah.
Olympic opening outfit,
Uh-huh.
and then they roll up, and I'm like,
Ugly.
they look ridiculous.
You know what I hate about them is that they're made by these like bougie companies.
Yeah.
I wish it was. I wish it was like, and I know this is probably crazy, but I wish
Say
they would
it.
like find a
Levi's.
local like brand that was either built or made in the U.S. and let them make it. I don't know anything about these particular brands. They might be originally U.S.
I missed
started,
it.
I guess, but
Were they
Ralph
weren't
Lauren
they,
this year.
I was going to say
Lauren,
Polo.
is Polo all?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I
then,
think that's.
Mm.
It's not a super bougie brand.
I thought you were American.
like anyone
But
can buy
I feel like
Ralph
Yeah, but
Ralph
those
Lauren's made
jackets
it multiple
are crazy.
times.
Have you seen? You could buy them on their website. They're like $600, which
That's
is nuts.
That's actually not that
we're-
bad.
Yeah, we're not going to do
for
that.
a jacket.
I mean,
I don't have
honestly,
one on mail.
those are pretty cool.
Let me
Like,
check 'em out.
if they were affordable, I'd freaking rock one of those on 4th of July. Tell me you wouldn't. On 4th of July, you wouldn't come in with
No,
that?
I don't think on 4th of July, when we have a 4th of July themed lip sync battle, yes, I'd spend the $600.
Unfortunately, next year is Olympics themed lip sync battle.
Yeah.
Olympic.
We kinda-
lip sync.
A lip-
A
Olymp-
lip sync battle. Oh my!
That would have been
gosh,
perfect
for
this year when
with-
it was the Olympics, but doesn't matter.
We didn't think about that. Anyway,
Yeah, a lot of controversy circling around that opening ceremony of the
Yeah.
Olympics. Let's dive into that. eh?
I'll be honest, I haven't seen the whole thing. I've just seen what TikTok
The
allows.
whole
So-
thing was like I don't think I've seen the whole thing either.
There you go.
We
I've seen
watched
bits and pieces.
like
it was so
bulk
long.
of it. It was a very long opening ceremony. I mean, France, is already pretty artistic, right? They're
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
French people. They were
So
they
the
were really
host country gets to just to do the whole opening.
yes. Oh yeah,
I didn't
it's a
know that.
whole big
yeah,
thing,
and it's supposed to kind of be like around their culture,
celebrating
and history, like
their
celebrating the
country.
host.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Love it.
So they did this whole, it was like all over Paris, and they had boats. It was pretty spectacular. I'm not going to lie. The amount of production that went into it.
They had the parade.
They had Lady Gaga. She was like singing, doing this kind of like Toulouse-Lautrec thing. They had like performers out on these barges in the Seine, like going by, playing the piano, and they kept cutting away to like all these crazy costumes and lights and everything. And then at one point they had, correct me if I'm wrong, it was like a gaggle of drag queens, and they
Not a gaggle.
and they were recreating what a lot of Americans we now find thought that they were recreating the Last Supper.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
Turns out,
Not it.
spoilers for the controversy. Turns out, not the Last Supper. They were recreating a French piece of artwork called the Feast of Dionysus, which apparently inspired Da Vinci's Last Supper. But we'll get into that in a second. And Christians didn't like that.
Yeah.
They didn't like that.
I feel
in
like
mass.
normally
Drag
when people
queens.
recreate the Last Supper, they try and do it to like the final T. Like they do the pose, they do everything. They didn't do that.
I feel like the Last Supper gets made fun of all the time. In like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
A little bit
people
of
do like.
crossover. Bobby, that was one of Bobby's ideas for a long time, is doing the Last Supper.
I love
He
it.
wanted to
good.
make a
By the way.
giant canvas across the stage
Yeah.
and have him be at
Yeah.
the center and like all these people on the side.
I think,
You know what? It's kind of giving Arrested
Crazy.
Development.
Yeah, totally. Where they recreate the creation
yeah.
of Adam, right?
Yeah.
And they every
Classic.
year they do the big display thing.
Yeah.
I think what people are forgetting, Christians, is the Last Supper is not a picture. It's a piece of art.
Yeah.
It's not the real
True.
Yep.
depiction. I mean, it's depicting what could have been Jesus' Last Supper, but it's not like a Polaroid they pulled out of the Bible. So I think like holding that in such esteem is like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Also, it wasn't that. So
But
get over
it wasn't that. So that's
You know
beside
what's-
the point.
An interesting take I saw this morning.
Yeah.
Joey from Barstool Sports. He and another. I should know more about it.
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
fine.
this podcast.
But here's the take.
Joey Casamigos. He's like the.
Yeah.
He's like kind of like the iconic gay guy in Barstool Sports.
Oh, he's so funny.
He's
Okay.
so funny.
So funny.
If I showed you like a clip of him, you would know who
Sure.
we're talking about.
He was like
Okay.
in Jersey Shore.
Yeah, yeah. He like has a whole thing with
he has
Snooki.
a whole
like
life before
it's-
Barstool.
Love.
It's
Yeah, but
crazy.
he's really good. And I saw a clip of him today getting shown it for the first time. He was like this is why. He was like, this is why people hate gay people. He goes, why are we putting more of a target on our back than we already are?
That's
He's
pretty
like, first of all,
funny.
some of these countries don't believe in this, and
Yeah.
you're insulting these countries, and now you're just making a target for trans and queer people. Yeah, like how about we just piss off all those countries that like don't believe in this as they bring their like strongest people to our country. Let's just make them mad.
That entire section of the Olympic opening has been taken down off of any like official site.
Because of that.
No, because one of the drag queens in the background decided to, in his little tiny Spanx, pull them to his side, to the side, and his balls were hanging out the entire time, and it got
Dude,
put on TV.
Maybe that's why
That's-
they're so upset.
I was gonna say. Well, I was gonna say, going back to why making yourself more of a target. Like people are already gonna have a problem with that.
listen,
you know?
listen.
And-
The French.
Crazy.
Another
French
part
don't
of the
care.
opening,
Yeah, go ahead.
which probably pissed people off, was it was during the like the kind of like step up like
Yeah.
water
Yeah.
dancing like hip hop part. They would cut back to pre-recorded things, and they did one in a library, and it was all about like sexual tension, and like these three people are reading books separate from each other, and they
Awesome.
keep holding up books that are like sexual innuendos in French, and they end up having a threesome. that they like
A menage a trois.
So-
yeah,
French.
menage a trois.
Look, the French know what they got.
The
okay,
French are
and they're
sexy.
putting it
They
on
do.
display. All right.
They said, listen, come to France and we give you sex and we give you.
menage a trois.
And then we give you Lady Gaga in feathers.
And we give you.
We give you Lady Gaga and
and
feathers.
who is going to hold the Olympic torch? Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
And Selma Hayek.
I love.
That was wild for me. Like, why her?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they designed the Olympic torch to look like a giant joint. So
Literally.
it was good that Snoop Dogg was holding it.
Yeah, it was really good. I also think it's been funny. I've been seeing this kind of like competition within the U.S. Olympic teams.
Yeah.
Of getting like another another famous person to be like, I'm their biggest fan, and so the U.S. women's rugby team went up to Jason Kelsey. They're like, come on, like, you know, this team has this person, this team has this person. Can you just be our super fan? And like, can you just look into this camera right here and say that you're our biggest fan?
It's true because Snoop Dogg has that one swimmer
Yeah.
with the wife and the baby.
Yeah.
And then
It is. It's literally like Hunger Games.
John
You guys-
Legend and
they're
Chrissy
sponsors.
Teigen were watching gymnastics. Lady Gaga watched gymnastics.
Bro, everyone watched gymnastics. Simone
Biles.
Biles,
She is-
my queen,
she's
you're
queen.
back.
She's queen.
Love her. What was her flying squirrel or something? Was her little nickname the
Yes.
first Olympics?
No, you're thinking of the jumping shrimp.
No, it was something squirrel.
That was
She
from,
did get
that was from Ice Princess.
She did get an Olympic like gymnastics move named after her. It was because no one had ever done it before. It was called like the Simone One. And this year is the first year that someone attempted it and landed it. It was another girl.
That's exciting. Honestly,
They're calling it the Simone 2.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
wow. I would next Olympics is LA.
Yeah.
That's right.
Are we going?
2028. We're
Oh,
we're going to do a
God.
live
we have
podcast.
to go to the Olympics.
We're going to be
guys.
doing a live podcast from the 2028 Olympics. Post up in the parking lot of SoFi Stadium.
tailgate the Olympics.
We don't actually know what happens because we'll be on the outside of it.
Where would it be? There's
There-
an Olympic
it has
Center.
to be.
It's
it has to be
multiple
multiple
locations,
places.
yeah.
So it'll
Yeah.
probably be Forum, SoFi, Staples, like literally
All of
every
those
single
like
arena.
big stadiums over there.
Done. We're
Yeah,
there.
We're there.
We're there.
Are you
For at
kidding
least
me?
one thing.
The vibes are going to be electric.
Let's go to something that no one else goes to, so they feel loved.
Yeah.
Like shock put or something like that.
I
like
love-
no one
I don't know
Okay.
if there's a single event in the Olympics that people don't go
Yeah.
to.
If you could
Come
put
on, hobby horse. They
Curling.
a little bit of respect on the shot put, thank you. I
Ping
love
pong.
the track and field. I love the ping
Ping
pong.
pong's crazy.
We were watching.
Have you watched ping pong?
No.
We were watching badminton.
Oh my gosh.
Love badminton.
They said the shuttlecock can get up to 220 miles per hour when they're playing.
shuttlecock.
They shit the cock.
The shuttlecock.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
French. Okay, John, what Olympic
French.
sport would you be in if you could be?
I think we did this,
Oh.
but I'm willing to hear again.
Oh, yeah. Wait, were the Olympics around our first year? No.
We literally
Okay,
did
well,
this last
We
week.
talked about this. No, not last week, but a couple weeks ago. We were like, the
But
Olympics
this is our
coming
first
up.
Olympics
But this is
as a podcast
I
in
mean-
terms of like going through the Olympics
Hold on,
as a
let me-
podcast.
Yes.
Because we haven't been around for that long. But
John Albright taking the stage.
I don't know what I'd be. What would I be in? I don't know.
Is he going to take the podium tonight?
Something really obscure. Probably.
Something really obscure.
I
Wait.
feel like you'd be a badminton person.
Something obscure.
Yeah. That's interesting. I'm so sorry.
John
This is not good
Albright.
podcasting. I guess I have no idea. Does anybody else
He
know?
doesn't know.
Okay, John, you're
I don't
doing
watch the
badminton.
Olympics, but badminton. I'm at badminton. There you go.
And
John
John,
Albright grasps the shuttlecock
Oh, jeez.
and then he hits it
Great.
back and forth
okay.
over the net. Okay.
No, that's
Whatever,
enough. That's
whatever,
enough on
whatever.
that.
That's enough of that.
Kara, your Olympic sport.
I've already said it. Gymnastics.
Yeah. What would be like your signature move?
Oh, I don't
Like
think
the
I was here
Kara
that
one.
week. I
Surely
think that
you
was
were.
with Michael.
Maybe Olivia was here.
I don't know. I would do floor.
Sorry, I'm going to change mine. I'm going to do
Floor
dive.
routine.
I'm going to do diving.
Oh,
Oh, we did watch the. Would you do the synchronized dive?
Yeah.
So
Would
who's
you?
Oh my gosh! Wait, we should watch. You guys should practice.
We
that.
should go to a pool that
probably
has
should.
those high jumping
Uh-huh,
things,
uh-huh.
and I mean it's probably so dangerous, but we'll do it.
No, you guys
we
got
watched
it.
the U.S. women's do it. They were key. By the way, their last names Bacon and,
and
Cook.
cook.
Oh,
They've
They
known each
were-
other since they were 8
Dude,
years old.
Cook and Bacon. Are you kidding me?
Also,
you know they have a really cool handshake.
synchronized
Yeah.
dives aren't that high dive. They're not high dive.
And then one of them puts her hand down. It's like pretends like a piece of bacon.
She's
they're
like,
cooking it.
I'm the bacon. I'm cooking.
That's their handshake. What? It's their handshake.
And they do it every time before they dive.
If they don't do it, they are out of sync.
Die.
No, but they're crazy. They go 3, 2, 1, go.
But first,
and they don't even look at each
first,
other.
They go, "Are you ready?"
Yeah, it was
Wait,
like
what's
under
the
their breath.
catchphrase? What's the
They
catchphrase?
fully had telepathy. They're like, "Is it time for breakfast?" She goes, "Better start cooking bacon." Dive.
Like a really dramatic,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
is it
Is it time
perfect.
for breakfast?
Is the skillet on?
Then I guess it's time to cook bacon.
It's so good. I love that so much.
Totally.
Oh, awesome. You guys don't even get it. You don't
yeah.
get it.
Okay, first of all,
it's called
we're not
country. It's
dumb,
called
we
Pride in
get
Your
it.
Country. It's called Pride in
Really?
Your Country.
if you
guys-
could, okay, now this is a wild. If you could play for the Olympics in any
Okay.
other country, what would you choose?
Great question. Great question.
Now here's
Thank you.
some things to think
China.
about when you're Okay, let's think about what we're thinking about.
as
You're
as they're
thinking you're
called on
staying-
the banner, the People's Republic of China. So
You're staying with all these people, so part of it is kind of a sex thing. Like, who
Oh,
do you want to
really?
be in the
now
little
you're, see, but
village
now you're
with?
making it.
and now you're making it weird. now you're making it
you're
weird.
making it a
you don't
sex
think
thing.
that the Olympics are about sex?
I'm
Why
gonna-
are you watching the gymnastics, huh?
What? Hold on.
Yeah, you
what?
sex
Pervert.
fiend, you pervert.
Speaking of
you
perverts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose
Whoa.
not the country with the pedophile competing.
Which is the it's the Dutch, I think. Is that
Yeah,
that's not a
which country has the
is it?
pedophile?
Let's go ahead and look it up.
The Germans.
He is Dutch.
Kara,
know that much.
hit us with the facts about the pedophile at the Olympics.
Wait, what? Oh, okay, I had to pull it up. All right.
I got it.
Oh,
You guys go.
Okay, his name is Steven van de Velde. He's a Dutch beach volleyball player. He's ranked 10th in the world and was
so why did we
sentenced
bring him 10th?
was sentenced for 10th in the world.
Well,
He's
we
still
probably have
pretty
the
good.
first
A
9.
convicted child rapist and registered sex offender was booed by spectators as he competed in beach volleyball at the Olympic Games on
We're
Sunday.
reading this. We're reading the exact same
Steven
article.
van de Velde, a Dutch
Van de
beach
Velde.
volleyball player on a team ranked 10th in the world. So it's not even like you're 10th in the world. You're not going to be like 9th by putting the rapist on your show on your team.
Yeah, like
Sure,
why don't we just
sure.
get the guy who's 11th in the world?
Well, he
and
was sentenced
swap
for
him
4
out?
years in prison in 2016, and he only served 1 year, and now he's active on the UK's sex offenders registry.
Yikes.
I
Can
feel
we not
that.
let sex offenders out early for good behavior?
And you know what's even crazier?
How about not at all?
Well, they're on the list for life. That's
he's
like
he's
the big
part of a
thing.
duo.
A duo of
and-
rapists or
No,
It's a
volleyball?
duo beach volleyball. And his partner does press because I was telling you guys they don't make him do press. They like have a special entrance and exit. He doesn't live in the same like Olympic Village as everybody else. But his partner was asked about him, and his partner's like, "It's in the past." Basically, like it's in the
What?
past. Like,
Bro.
he's a great volleyball player, and I'm like, wait, what?
Maybe they both shouldn't do press. Just get a whole publicist. If you're gonna be complicit,
Let me tell you the best part. When he was convicted in court, the judge said to him, "Your hopes of representing your country now lie as a shattered dream." And his lawyer said, "He's lost a stellar sporting career. It's a career-ending moment for him." is
and
what
he
they
said, "Psych."
and they still brought him back.
That's what country was this?
It says he's Dutch, so I don't know what
But look up what country he represents, because sometimes they have people from other countries.
Dutch
in-
Olympic Committee stood by its decision to include him in the team, explaining that Steven would not live in the Olympic Village or speak to any of the media.
So Dutch.
Yeah, he's Dutch. But then it's so funny because like the
Is that
Dutch,
Holland?
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
the Dutch Olympic Committee says Steven is not a pedophile. You really don't think that the Dutch Olympic Committee would send someone to Paris who is that big of a risk?
They did.
They're like,
I think they're
like, do you
thinking
think
about
a
winning.
pedophile could play this good at volleyball?
Jeez.
If he was like number one, at least they could get away with like the Michael Jackson thing. They're like, well, separate the art from the artist. Like,
But he's 10th, so
Yeah, he's 10th, so boo.
pedophiles.
boo.
I guess it depends on how many volleyball players they sent.
They said,
There's gotta be.
Oh,
They were
he's
like,
married.
we needed one more.
There
He's
has to
married?
be.
More.
He's
Okay,
married
so,
with the son. He has a son.
oh,
with
so they're just complicit in it. They know it happened. They're like just turning a blind eye to it because he's so good at volleyball.
never going to the Netherlands.
Dude, there was a petition to
Neverlands,
to urge the
more like.
committee to ban the sex offender and from competing, and there was nearly 81,000 signatures on that petition.
How many people they got in the Netherlands?
82,000.
There's got to be other volleyball players, right?
81.
81,000. Everyone in the Netherlands signed it,
81,998.
and they still went with it. Even
They're like,
even the committee signed it, and they said, nah.
Well, look at the evidence. He's that good, you guys. He's 10th in the world.
I think that is just a shame. Like you're really putting a bad mark on your country by
Do you
doing
think that represents
You
the
would-
whole country?
You
No,
know
but
how
I
he got
think that-
caught?
How did he get caught?
Well, he had sex with a 12-year-old girl, which is really sad. But
Horrible.
the reason he got caught is because he didn't use protection, and so he told the 12-year-old girl to go to the store and get a Plan B pill,
Oh,
and
God.
the police questioned her when she was trying to buy a Plan B.
yeah, when a 12-year-old trying to get Plan
and
B.
figured out that it was this guy. He traveled
Trigger
to the
warning,
UK.
by the way.
He traveled to the UK to meet up with this
That's
girl.
horrible.
Yeah, crazy. That's what he again. That's what like. I don't know how it could get any worse, but like it seemed the more and more facts come out, you're like, yeah, it's bad. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Like they should not have him in the Olympics. You
And
know?
like, it's so like the Olympics seems like a big deal, but like, really, like you're gonna give up your morals and your everything,
Yes.
like
Oh,
so
they
he can go
lost.
play volleyball.
All
Yeah.
right.
By the way, not even third place.
Yeah,
they're
lost.
losers.
They
So
lost.
was it worth it?
Totally
it's
crazy to me.
Yeah, it makes.
I
no
think
sense.
I like you said. I think there needs to be. There are certain things in life that exclude you from. I don't care how good you are, how hard you work at something. There are
Yeah.
certain things in life that exclude you from going to something like the Olympics, and I think that is definitely one of them. I think I don't
Yeah.
care like how reformed or all all these things that they're trying to prove to say he's different or change.
Yeah.
I'm like, you make that mistake. Sorry, buddy, you're out.
You're
like
done.
you're
I feel
out.
that you're done.
I don't think you have to live in like prison forever or you have to like live in squalor, but like at the same time you can't go to the Olympic Games. Like
No.
that's one thing that should exclude you.
I think
don't
that's
know.
where
where
we
we
put all
part
the
of
good
what we're
guys.
choosing for like these people to represent our country. I think not that there should be like a morality test, but I think they should be genuinely good people that represent what this country represents.
Which
Yeah. It's
most
a-
countries do that.
Well, unfortunately, you don't because a lot of these people, all they care about is winning. A lot of these
Yeah.
Olympians eat, sleep, and breathe every day of their life competition.
Yeah, but they're also good people.
Yeah.
So, most
Are
of them.
Are they?
Yes, most of them are.
I think like
Certainly, definitely assholes.
Yeah.
I
But,
look at like our Olympic teams, like our individual teams, and I feel like America, one of the big things America says that like we have, it's like this melting pot of culture. Like I think that all of our Olympic teams should represent that. I think
Yeah.
they should be diverse and I think they should represent multiple, cultures
Right.
and ethnicities because that's what like as America, as the melting pot, that's what we say we represent. So our team should
Yeah.
reflect that.
And you know
Which
what
a lot
else?
of them do.
And you know
Yeah.
what else should reflect that? Our presidency. Let's fucking go, Kamala Harris. We have to talk about it. It's Brat Summer for Kamala. We have to talk about it.
I love all of the conservative like political guys trying to be like they're calling her a brat. That's so and then they're like and then it's like the women trying to be like no like brat like she's
Like,
brat.
like,
brat.
good.
It's not
Brat
like it's
Summer.
good. And they're like it's not good calling a leader a brat. And they're like no not
They're
a
like,
brat.
not the
She
leader of
is
the free
brat.
world. No, she is, though. She is
Yeah.
Brat.
I don't think that like even with Brat Summer behind her, I don't think anything will be as like comparable to the Bernie Sanders memes that came out during his presidency.
I don't know.
Run.
She's really going for it.
Forgot about Bernie Sanders.
Bernie
Yeah.
Sanders.
I am once again
iconic.
asking for your financial compensation.
And then when he was still just like a little senator and he was all cold, bundled up with his mask.
Was that at the inauguration? That
I think so. Something.
So cute.
He was so
Yes,
cute.
it
just
was. It was the inauguration.
I love Bernie.
What happened to
I miss
him?
him.
He's retired,
Just
right?
hanging out.
Guys, he's an old
God,
white
please.
dude.
He was a
Totally
little
retired.
too. No, he's still a senator. He's just a little too far left for.
Hey
them.
guys, if you're over the age of 60,
Mm-hmm.
retire out of our political system.
Hey.
Don't.
And
keep
that's the
running.
final word on it. I feel.
If Mitt Romney was like, "Yeah, guys, we need to," if
Just
you're
go
older than
quietly.
me,
Just go.
get out.
Yeah, he's 82. Bernie Sanders.
Surprised he didn't run.
Apparently, Joe Biden
He's a
wants
senator
to,
of
before he
Vermont.
checks out, he wants to establish 18-year term limit for the Supreme Court. 18 years,
Ooh.
as opposed to like a life
never gonna
sentence
happen.
that they do.
But-
Never gonna happen.
He should have an
'Cause
18-year
who's gonna
term
shoot it
limit.
down? The
It
people
should be an
in the Supreme
18-year
Court.
term limit. Period.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd
If
say
you're
so.
on an elected official, you can work for 18 years as an elected official, spread out whatever, and then you're done.
And then
Andy, I
you're
want to
done.
hear your thoughts on the lifetime, like, Supreme Court justice.
In the
thing.
Constitution, there's about the like original Constitution prior, multiple amendments. There's about like 3 sentences on the Supreme Court. So most of what the Supreme Court looks like today is from the Marshall Court. Originally, the Supreme Court was like, a gaggle of people that met in basically a clerical office.
Yeah.
And they'd met like every couple years. Like it had
Highest court
nothing
in
to
the
do with anything. And the Marshall Court is when they brought in the robes and they did all this and they made it like basically like let's define what power we have. In the same way that Dick Cheney really changed the vice presidency and gave power to the vice presidency, where before it was really just kind of like a figurehead. So unlimited lifetime seats.
Sentence.
Stupid
That's
life
crazy.
sentence. It kind of is. You're on there, you're dying there.
Yeah.
Life sentence.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dumb.
Sounds horrible.
Dumb. You think it's dumb?
Dumb.
So you'd be a 4 out of 18-year term limit?
Oh, it's
I don't
never
think
gonna happen,
anyone.
though.
I don't think anyone should be in a position for their entire life.
Yeah. No. You're holding all the biases.
18 years feels
that
like
come.
baseline because that's like you served for a whole generation, I feel.
Yeah.
Like 18 years. You got a solid
kinda
run
beautiful.
in. And then
I feel like you could bump it up to
go
20.
away.
No, I like 18.
20 years.
I like that it's just
If
not
you can
round
vote
enough.
at 18, yeah.
Yeah.
So, question: I just don't know enough about the Supreme
Answer.
Court. Can you like resign from your position?
Yeah.
Or,
You can step
can't?
down.
Oh, you can.
They
Yeah.
were
Yeah. A lot of
so
people do.
The whole thing.
That's the only way that seats become open.
yeah,
20
unless,
No, they
or
die.
die.
Unless they
2016 the Democrats were pushing for Ruth Bader Ginsburg to resign.
Yep.
And because Obama was in office and they were like if she resigns Obama gets to pick the
They
next
made some guy.
person in the
They
Supreme
made
Court.
some guy step down. It was a dude recently, like in the last couple when Biden was president. They made him step down, and he that's how he got.
I don't remember.
The newest.
Yes,
person.
you're right.
Yeah,
No,
they had him kind of step down.
Died, didn't he?
No one died. He stepped down.
No,
Just to
it's-
close-
it's
just to close that
typical
loop,
most people have.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg didn't step down because she said she wanted to step down during a female presidency.
Yep.
She was so convinced that Hillary was going to win, and then Donald Trump won, and then she
died of a broken heart.
And so then Trump got to pick the next Supreme
and then
Court
all
justice.
her hard work
Yeah.
as the woman who basically
Yep.
like helped create Roe
Freaking
versus
championed
Wade
Roe versus Wade. Yeah.
got demolished right after
Overturned.
her.
Bye. Bye.
Crazy.
Poor woman.
Yeah, poor
She
thing.
is rolling in her grave.
I mean,
Not
but-
poor. I mean, she made
but that-
a bad decision. You know,
that
like,
goes
she
to
should've
show
done
you
it.
that the grip that people have on power. They're like, I don't want to let it go. I don't want to let go. And then you die, and then it's like, well, now it's like, what does that say about your legacy?
Yeah.
Like you were so
That is crazy. I
did
didn't
you
know
ever
this story.
see that movie about her?
no.
No.
On the
And I
on the
won't.
bias of sexes.
Oh,
And it was like
on the basis of sex.
The basis of
Yes.
sex, yeah. And it's basically she argued like one of the first cases that for like equality,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a man working as like a caregiver to his mom, and it was like over like something where they basically were trying to get it where he wasn't allowed to do it because it was like a female job, and so it was like that he was unjustly being discriminated against because he's a man. And that was
On
like
the
one
basis of sex.
Yeah,
It was
on
like the
basis of
whole
sex.
big
Yeah.
ticket.
And she was like one of like her. I mean, her life story is crazy, but I could see like she was one of the first women allowed to go into law school
Oh.
and like all this stuff. And like I could see if you've like crawled and like clawed your way up to be like if you're finally sitting at the Supreme Court, being
Yeah.
like, no, I'm dying here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not stepping down. No man
you think
taking
you
my
die
seat.
in your Supreme Court seat, or you?
I
give
would
it up?
die in my
I
Olympic
think
seat.
I'd have to read the room. And I
Yeah,
think
it's true.
what
It's not bad.
I'm glad about is that our soon to be former president Joe Biden read the room.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, I am getting up there in years." And up until he literally made he was like, "I'm never leaving. Like I got to run. I got to see this through." But him and his cabinet had to make a decision that was, "Hey, I'm not going to run again because I'm so goddamn old."
Yeah.
And I think that
Also
a lot
because
of
multiple people sent in.
yeah, we're talking about the
Letters.
oldest president of all time, of course.
Yeah.
But I think that
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure how much.
I think politicians
Like, it was up to him, I
at some
wonder,
point
you know?
stop reading the room. They're like, I'm my own interests are most important to me. I am gonna and my people that I'm getting money from, my little constituents all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're losing the thread. Like, who are you representing?
Yeah.
Are you representing people from, your generation, or are you representing the next generation? I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot to think about.
We'll see.
Big election year.
I think I've been thinking about this a lot because I it's an election year and
Yeah.
it is the whole race has changed. With
Drastically.
Like when we were talking about these two options, I was like, I don't particularly like either of them. And then I honestly, when Kamala came in, I'm like, I don't know that I really like either of them either. But you know what I'm saying? I think what I keep relying on is that like your life really won't change. Like there will be
Sure.
things that will get slightly better and things that might get slightly worse. But ultimately, I don't know. It's like, does it really, like, you think about your whole life and even just your adult life. We've
Sure.
been through 2 elections as adults for the most part. Maybe 3?
3.
3. I'm like, how much has really changed, like, for you personally? And probably not much.
I guess 4.
And not much. And that's why I'm like, maybe, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Kamala, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe
You
it's
kinda
time
just
for
have to go
America to
off
have a
of-
female president. I don't know.
It has to go off of like giant things that have happened during a presidency. So like back in the day when we were kids, like housing market crisis.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know what was going on, but that was a big thing for that
Sure.
president at that time.
Sure.
And then COVID
Yeah, that's
was a
crazy.
big thing.
That was crazy.
How they handle, world events. I mean, I will say, like, a lot of times when you hear any president get on the horn and address the nation, it's like it does do a lot for, like,
Yeah.
the psyche, right? Where, like, it is kind of their duty to go, okay, we need to. And I feel like, when Donald Trump would jump on the horn, it's just like crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like he'd say weird stuff, and it was just like blabber and like just like kind of fear mongering a little bit, and then it'd be like, no, we fixed COVID. It's the best COVID. We're the best. And it's like, what are we talking about here? I need a little bit. And this isn't my endorsement moment, but like Kamala has already jumped on the horn a few times and gone, look, we need to like get our shit together.
Yeah.
Basically is the whole.
Get your shit
And it's like
together.
like we said, like it's a young person. It's not
Yeah.
a geriatric. We're talking
I'm interested
about
to
here.
see, like, again, if they get to do another debate.
Yeah.
Because
Awesome.
I still kind of
That'll be
feel like
great.
I don't really know,
Yeah,
But
sure.
but I think in the next couple of months we'll start to see the information come out, and I think it will become clear. Yes.
I have an idea.
Let's let it rip.
We've all agreed that we're sending the best of the best we have to the Olympics.
Okay.
She's rounding it all up.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Okay,
Good job.
we send the best of the best to the Olympics.
Uh-huh.
After we have all of our gold medalists, we then have an American Olympic Games where we take all the gold medalists, we put them through, different cognitive tests, maybe a golf test, maybe,
No, not a
challenge
golf
to around,
test. Not a
challenge
golf
to a round of
test.
golf, challenge to a debate, do all this stuff. Maybe we can see, like, we'll do a presidential fitness test one more time just to make sure.
For the president.
Well, no, and then whoever wins the American Olympics out of the gold medalists, they are the president.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's make
okay.
it easier. Let's take the two candidates after they debate. They should fight physically.
You think Kamala's got
or even
Donald?
better, we put them through the presidential fitness test one more time.
wrestle.
If you can't pass the presidential fitness test, you are not
As
fit to be
president?
president.
I know, like. Look, I know we couldn't do that,
We should do
but
it.
like we should fully do that, right?
I say this is my campaign. Annie Scofman for, let's just make it easy, 2050.
Oh.
Well, I couldn't do the math on how
Yeah.
I
No,
would
of course.
be.
Of course.
You can take a minute to do the math if you need to.
Annie Scofman running for president 2050. I'll do the presidential fitness test, and I will
Pretty
win.
sure the only person who did it was Michelle Obama.
Whoa.
Because she was fighting for like the healthy schools, like let's put healthier food.
I bet Obama could
let's-
do it. I saw him play his b-ball game.
Oh, he probably could, but Michelle Obama
guy.
did it like
Now,
Probably.
Joe and Trump, neither of them could pass the presidential
No.
fitness test, but Kamala.
Well, it's time to wrap up the show for the day.
Michael Phelps for president.
We want to thank our Patreon supporters. Hey, head down to the link in the bio. Sign up to be a Patreon supporter, get access to the post show, get access to behind the scenes content, get access to the merch drops. On the couch as always, Kara Tafoya, Annie the Scope Scopeman,
I'm Ryan.
I'm John. We'll see you next week on
What the
Podcast.
Wow, that's good.
That was awesome.
That was pretty cool, huh?
so awesome. I think we need to do that every episode
Of the
until
Olympics?
the Olympics are over.
How long are the Olympics?
They're a month and a half.
Years.
Oh,
Couple
that's
years.
a long time. What if we just become an Olympic podcast
Forever.
forever?
See you guys in
Sports.
2 years
Wait,
for the
we
winter.
should. We
We
should.
didn't even talk about
We should
surfing.
all pull a clip. Hold on, wait for this is over.
The
See you guys
show's-
next time.
Bye.
Thank you. We should all.